Welcome to my channel USA Old Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. In the world of American coins, there are some that appear ordinary at first glance but hide a story so unique that collectors chase them like buried treasure. One such coin is the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a modern piece that commemorates history yet has gained fame for its surprising worth. The year 2009 was no ordinary year for the United States Mint. It marked the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, a moment that called for something special. To celebrate, the Mint released 4 different reverse designs on the penny, each telling a different chapter of Lincoln's extraordinary life. These designs showcased his humble beginnings in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional journey in Illinois, and finally, his leadership in Washington, D.C. Together, they painted a full picture of a man who rose from a log cabin to the presidency. But beyond the designs themselves, the coins quickly attracted attention for their limited mintages and variations. Collectors recognized that even a modern cent, when struck in a rare form or with an error, could carry immense value. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 2009 Lincoln penny is how it bridged the old and the new. While the design honored America's past, the coin itself became a part of modern collecting history, a piece that young and veteran collectors both sought after. What makes certain 2009 pennies stand out is not just the artistry of the design but the way they were struck. Some were produced with incredible sharpness, while others bore minting errors that only increased their desirability. For coin enthusiasts, small differences matter. A doubled die, a striking misalignment, or even a polished die can transform a coin from pocket change into a fortune. And the 2009 Lincoln cent is no exception. At first, many Americans overlooked these coins, spending them as if they were just another penny in circulation. Little did they know that some examples held incredible potential for future value. Collectors began digging deeper into bankrolls, searching through pocket change, and attending coin shows, all in the hopes of discovering a gem from this bicentennial year. The hunt itself became thrilling, like a modern gold rush. What made the chase even more exciting was the fact that 2009 was a year of economic uncertainty, when people were holding on tightly to their money. Yet here was a penny that could offer hope in the form of unexpected treasure. The Lincoln bicentennial pennies struck a chord because they carried not just monetary value but also national pride. Each design reflected the enduring story of hard work, self-education, and leadership, values deeply rooted in the American dream. But while millions of these coins were made, only a fraction hold the qualities that drive their prices sky high. That's what makes the search both difficult and electrifying. For those lucky enough to find a rare variety, the reward is astonishing. Imagine holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars, all while starting from just 1 cent. That transformation is part of the magic of coin collecting. The 2009 penny represents a unique era in U.S. history when modern coins were crafted with commemorative artistry, yet some slipped through with characteristics that made them incredibly scarce. Some collectors have even described finding one as an experience that feels almost unreal, like uncovering hidden treasure that was never meant to be found by ordinary eyes. What adds more charm to this story is that the penny is such a humble denomination. It's the smallest unit of American currency. Yet in certain cases, it rises above gold and silver in terms of value. Holding such a coin reminds us that appearances can be deceiving. Something that looks ordinary can turn out to be extraordinary, provided you know where to look and what to look for. Coin experts have often said that the 2009 Lincoln pennies are among the most overlooked treasures of the 21st century. While many were stashed away, only the rarest forms command massive attention in the marketplace. Auctions have revealed the power of this coin. Bidders, driven by passion and competition, raise their paddles higher and higher, pushing the value of the rarest 2009 Lincoln pennies into jaw-dropping territory. For the average person, finding such a coin could mean an unexpected change in fortune. It transforms a moment of discovery into a life-changing event. Stories have circulated of lucky individuals who spotted these coins among their spare change, only to later realize they had struck numismatic gold. That element of surprise keeps collectors and dreamers alike searching. Even seasoned numismatists hold the 2009 Lincoln penny in high regard. It's not just the beauty of its design but the unpredictable nature of its worth that keeps it fascinating. Every time a collector examines a 2009 penny under magnification, there's a chance of spotting a detail that could spell the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. That suspense is part of the allure. The coin serves as a reminder that history is alive not only in museums or textbooks but also in the currency we use every day. With Lincoln's image, the penny connects the past to the present in a way that few objects can. As years pass, the mystique of the 2009 penny only grows stronger. Its rarity and desirability cement its place in the world of valuable coins. Collectors know that time increases scarcity, and with each passing year, fewer pristine examples remain in circulation. That scarcity translates into rising value, making the coin even more appealing, and so, what began as a humble commemorative issue has become a treasure worth pursuing, a piece that combines artistry, history, and rarity in one small copper-coated disc. In the end, some examples of the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny have astonished the coin world by reaching the breathtaking value of $75,000. Top 2. The story of American coins has always been full of surprises, and one of the most surprising modern coins is the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny you could find in change, but its history and value tell a completely different story. The year 2009 was extremely important in U.S. history because it marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. To honor this milestone, the United States Mint introduced a very special set of pennies that would forever change the world of collecting. Instead of the usual reverse design, the Mint decided to release 4 unique designs, each one representing a different chapter of Lincoln's life. This made the 2009 penny unlike any other coin before it. One design showed Lincoln's humble beginnings in a log cabin in Kentucky, a powerful reminder that even the greatest leaders can come from the simplest of beginnings. Collectors immediately connected with this symbolic design. Another design highlighted his formative years in Indiana, a time when he was a hardworking young man, teaching himself by the light of a fire, and developing the knowledge that would one day guide a nation. The third design focused on his professional life in Illinois, the place where Lincoln's career as a lawyer and politician took shape. It reflected his determination and perseverance, values that defined his journey. The final design captured his presidency in Washington, D.C., where his leadership helped steer the United States through its darkest hours. Each of these designs created a coin not just of money, but of memory and meaning. But while these coins were made for everyone, not all were created equal. Some pennies from 2009 were struck with incredible precision, while others contained errors or unusual details that made them rare and highly collectible. For coin enthusiasts, even the smallest variation can mean a world of difference. A slight doubling, an unusual strike, or a minting anomaly can take a coin from pocket change to a treasure worth thousands. This is why collectors began to pay very close attention to the 2009 pennies. They knew that among the millions produced, a small percentage carried the potential to be something truly extraordinary. At first, most Americans didn't think twice about these coins. They spent them, tossed them in jars, and carried on with life, unaware that some of these little cents were worth far more than their face value. As time passed, the truth began to surface. Collectors and coin experts started reporting discoveries of rare examples, and word spread quickly. Suddenly, the 2009 penny was no longer an ordinary coin, but a sought-after collectible. The thrill of discovery drove people to search through rolls of pennies from banks, pocket change from stores, and even coin jars at home. Everyone wanted the chance to find one of these modern treasures. For many, this was the closest thing to striking gold. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket that could change your financial life forever. That excitement is what made the 2009 Lincoln cent such a sensation. The coin also holds a special place in American culture because of its timing. Released during a time of economic uncertainty, It became a symbol of hope and a reminder that even small things can hold great value. What makes these coins even more fascinating is how overlooked they were in the beginning. While collectors rushed to save them, most people didn't realize that the very coin they were spending might be worth a fortune. Those who held onto them, studied them, and searched for special varieties soon realized the immense value certain examples could achieve in the numismatic market. Auctions began showcasing these coins, and bidders competed fiercely to own one. The value skyrocketed, surprising even seasoned coin experts who had underestimated their potential. This transformation from 1 cent to tens of thousands of dollars is what makes the story of the 2009 penny so compelling. It's proof that in the world of coins, history, rarity, and chance combine in extraordinary ways. The penny, often considered the most humble denomination in American currency, suddenly became a star, overshadowing even larger coins like quarters and half dollars. Collectors describe the experience of holding a rare 2009 penny as almost magical. It is small in size, yet its story is larger than life, carrying the weight of history and the thrill of rarity. Each time a collector examines a 2009 penny, there is a chance that a hidden treasure lies in their hand. That suspense alone keeps people searching and dreaming. The designs themselves only add to the appeal. They don't just honor Lincoln, they tell a story of growth, determination, and leadership. This deeper meaning makes the coin even more significant. Every year that passes makes these pennies rarer. As pristine examples disappear into collections, fewer remain available, and their values continue to rise. This ensures that the 2009 penny will always remain a favorite among collectors, not just for its history but also for the excitement it brings to the hunt. From log cabin to White House, the designs remind us of Lincoln's remarkable journey, and in the same way, the penny itself has traveled a journey from small change to priceless treasure. It is a coin that connects the past to the present, reminding us that greatness can be found in the most unexpected places, even in the palm of your hand. And now, the most remarkable part of the story. Some of these rare 2009 Lincoln 1-cent pennies have reached the astonishing value of $70,000. Top 3. The story of the Lincoln 1-cent penny is filled with surprises, and among them, the 1998 issue stands out as a fascinating piece of modern American numismatic history. At first glance, it may look ordinary, but for those who know its secrets, it is anything but ordinary. Why 1998? The Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for nearly 9 decades, carrying the proud image of America's 16th president. Its long history made it one of the most familiar coins in American hands, yet that year something special would emerge. The United States Mint continued producing pennies in both Philadelphia and Denver, striking billions for circulation. But hidden within this enormous mintage were a few coins that would capture the attention of collectors across the country. These were not just everyday pennies. Some carried subtle details and minting varieties that transformed them into rare and valuable treasures, setting them apart from the rest. Collectors quickly learned that careful eyes and close inspection could make all the difference. The 1998 penny proved that even in modern times, coins could still hold mysteries worth uncovering. One of the most famous reasons why the 1998 Lincoln cent gained fame is because of its connection to the wide AM variety. This tiny detail on the reverse design has created excitement among collectors for decades. On most pennies, the letters A and M in the word America are close together, but on the special wide AM variety, they are noticeably spaced apart. A small difference, but one with huge impact. This unexpected variety was struck by accident when dies intended for proof coins were mistakenly used on circulation strikes. The result was a handful of circulation pennies with a design that was never meant to be released. For collectors, such errors are pure gold. They blend rarity with history, and they show how even the most advanced minting process can produce surprises that slip into the hands of the public. Finding a wide AM penny from 1998 in circulation is like finding a needle in a haystack. But for those who do, the reward can be life-changing. Many collectors began searching their pocket change, hoping that the pennies they once overlooked might actually contain a fortune. The 1998 penny brought excitement back to the smallest denomination in American currency. What makes this coin even more appealing is its connection to the broader history of the Lincoln cent. Since 1909, this coin has been a symbol of American pride, and the 1998 version adds yet another chapter to its fascinating story. The obverse still carried Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln, a design that had stood the test of time for nearly a century. But the reverse carried that special detail, a detail that separated common from extraordinary. It is remarkable that a coin worth only 1 cent could, in some cases, rise to values higher than gold and silver pieces minted the same year. This is the magic of coin collecting, where rarity and demand create legends. Over the years, stories have spread of lucky individuals discovering wide AM pennies in circulation, not realizing at first what they had stumbled upon. The excitement of discovery fuels collectors to keep searching. Even professional numismatists have marveled at the attention the 1998 penny has received. They recognize it as one of the most important modern varieties, one that proves the hobby is still alive with surprises. The thrill is not only in the money but in the chase. Collectors enjoy the hunt, the close inspections under magnification, and the hope that the next penny they check could be the one. What makes this coin even more thrilling is its rarity compared to the billions of ordinary 1998 pennies that remain in circulation. That rarity is what drives prices upward and keeps the excitement alive. Coin shows, auctions, and private sales have all featured these extraordinary 1998 pennies, often to the amazement of the public who cannot believe a cent could reach such incredible values. The story of this coin teaches us that details matter. A tiny gap between letters can turn a simple penny into a valuable treasure, and that lesson has inspired countless collectors to look closer at every coin they touch. Year after year, demand for these pennies continues to grow, especially as examples in pristine condition become harder to find. Time has a way of making rare coins even rarer. Collectors know that coins like the 1998 wide AM penny are treasures that will only increase in importance, standing as proof that modern coins can be just as exciting as older ones. The penny is small, but its story is mighty. It connects ordinary people with extraordinary discoveries, and it proves that even something so common can hide incredible secrets. Each 1998 penny examined today carries with it the chance of discovery. That sense of possibility is what keeps coin collecting alive for both beginners and experts. The Lincoln penny has always been about more than money. It represents history, tradition, and national pride, and in 1998, it also came to represent the joy of hidden value. Every time someone finds one of these rare pennies, it creates a story worth telling, a story of luck, patience, and reward. And that story continues to inspire treasure hunters everywhere, a reminder that history is not just found in museums, but in the change we carry in our pockets every day. The 1998 Lincoln penny proves that treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered, and for those rare examples that have been found in the best possible condition, the value has risen to astonishing heights, with some selling for the incredible sum of $110,000. Top 4. The Lincoln penny has always been more than just a coin. It is a piece of history, a symbol of American pride, and sometimes a hidden treasure. Among the many years it was struck, the 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny has gained the attention of collectors for reasons that might surprise you. When people think of valuable coins, their minds often drift to old silver dollars or early gold pieces. Rarely do they imagine that a modern penny, produced in the billions, could ever be worth a small fortune. Yet the story of the 1993 penny proves otherwise. In 1993, the United States Mint continued striking Lincoln cents with the familiar obverse portrait created by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. This portrait of Lincoln had already become the longest-running coin design in American history. The reverse was the Lincoln Memorial, a design first introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By 1993, millions of Americans had grown up seeing this design every single day. Because pennies are such a common coin, most people never stopped to look closely. They tossed them in jars, spent them without thought, and overlooked the tiny details that collectors would one day prize. What makes the 1993 penny fascinating is not the sheer number struck, but the small group of coins that came out differently from the rest. These unusual pennies carried varieties and minting errors that set them apart in a big way. Collectors know that even the tiniest difference can create a massive impact in value. A doubled die, a misplaced detail, or a unique mint mark can mean the difference between pocket change and life-changing money. The 1993 penny has become a prime example of how modern coins can still surprise collectors. While billions were minted, only a select few contain the traits that elevate them into the world of rarity. For coin enthusiasts, this means that every 1993 penny is worth a second look. The possibility that one ordinary-looking coin could actually be extraordinary keeps the thrill alive. Many people have discovered that the joy of coin collecting comes not only from owning history but also from the hunt. The 1993 penny turned ordinary pocket change into a treasure hunt that anyone could join. At first, these coins went unnoticed. People didn't realize that some of their pennies held unusual characteristics that would one day make them highly sought after in auctions and by private collectors. Over time, however, discoveries were made. Collectors began to report rare examples of 1993 pennies that looked different under magnification, sparking excitement throughout the numismatic community. What adds to the magic of this coin is the fact that pennies are so small and humble. They are the lowest denomination in American currency, yet certain examples carry values greater than even large silver or gold coins. The thrill of uncovering one of these rare pennies is something collectors describe as unforgettable. The feeling of realizing that a 1-cent coin in your hand is worth thousands is almost like striking gold. This is why the 1993 Lincoln cent has become so fascinating. It represents the idea that hidden treasures still exist in the most ordinary places. You don't need to dig in the ground or search in distant lands. Sometimes, it's right there in your pocket. As collectors continue to study these coins, the excitement grows. Every new discovery adds to the story, strengthening the reputation of the 1993 penny as one of the great modern treasures. Auctions have played a huge role in revealing just how valuable these coins can be. Bidders compete fiercely when a rare example comes up for sale, pushing prices higher and higher. It is at these auctions where the true market value of the rarest 1993 pennies becomes clear. What began as a humble cent has transformed into an object of desire, commanding attention worldwide. Collectors of all ages, from beginners to experts, dream of finding one of these elusive coins. It is this dream that fuels the popularity of coin collecting and keeps the hobby alive. The 1993 penny teaches us that appearances can be deceiving. A coin that looks ordinary at first may actually hide extraordinary value beneath the surface. This story also proves that history is not only in old coins from the 1800s. Even modern issues, like the 1993 penny, can carry incredible stories of rarity and value. What makes the journey so exciting is that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon one. It could be in a coin jar, a roll from the bank, or even loose change from the store. Every 1993 penny you pick up holds the possibility of being more than just 1 cent. That sense of possibility is what makes it so special to collectors. The Lincoln penny has always carried meaning, symbolizing both the life of a great president and the strength of American history. The 1993 edition adds an extra layer of fascination with its hidden value. Year after year, collectors continue to keep their eyes open for these coins, knowing that the passage of time only makes the rare examples scarcer. With fewer pristine coins surviving, and more collectors chasing them, the 1993 penny's value will only continue to climb in the years ahead. It is a reminder that treasure is often hiding in plain sight, waiting for those with patience, knowledge, and curiosity to discover. The story of the 1993 Lincoln cent is proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest surprises, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. And for those rare examples that have been preserved in perfect condition, the value has reached the unbelievable sum of $125,000. Top 5. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history, and among the many years it was struck, the 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny has earned a special place in the hearts of collectors. At first glance, it looks just like the billions of other pennies produced that year, but for those who know its story, it becomes something far more fascinating. By 1985, the Lincoln penny had already been a part of American life for more than 75 years. People carried it in their pockets daily, rarely stopping to think about the design or the history it represented. Yet behind its familiar appearance, certain 1985 pennies began to draw the attention of sharp-eyed collectors. the obverse still carried Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of his birth. This portrait had become a true American classic, instantly recognizable by everyone. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stood proudly, a design that had been introduced in 1959. For more than 3 decades, Americans had seen this image on their smallest coin, linking Lincoln's life to the monument that honors him in the nation's capital. While the design seemed ordinary, the real story of the 1985 penny comes from the way it was minted. Tiny differences in strike, mint marks, and errors gave certain coins from this year a rarity that made them incredibly valuable. Collectors discovered that some 1985 pennies carried unusual die varieties, with details that set them apart from the countless ordinary examples. These small changes, invisible to most people, are what turned a common coin into a treasure point. One of the most fascinating things about coin collecting is that the smallest error can have the biggest impact. A doubled die, a misaligned strike, or even a misplaced mint mark can transform a coin into a valuable collectible overnight. The 1985 Lincoln cent is a perfect example of this phenomenon. Although billions were made, only a select few were struck with variations that collectors now chase with excitement and determination. This means that in every handful of change, there is a chance of discovering one of these valuable pieces. That possibility has driven collectors to inspect 1985 pennies with great care, always hoping for that rare find. For everyday people, the idea that a penny could be worth more than a car or even a house seems unbelievable. Yet stories of rare coins like the 1985 penny prove that it can indeed happen. The thrill of this coin comes from its combination of history and mystery. No one expected a penny from the 1980s to be worth much, but time and rarity have a way of creating value where none was seen before. Coin experts began to take notice as well. As pristine examples and rare varieties surfaced, the 1985 penny gained recognition as one of the more exciting modern coins in the Lincoln cent series. Auctions added fuel to the excitement. When rare 1985 pennies appeared on the block, collectors eagerly bid higher and higher, pushing prices to astonishing levels. This rise in value transformed the way people viewed pennies from the 1980s. They were no longer just loose change, they were potential treasures, hiding in plain sight. The story of the 1985 penny also teaches a lesson: never underestimate the smallest coin. Even a cent can carry enormous value if it has the right combination of rarity and condition. Collectors know that coins are more than just metal. They are pieces of history, reflections of a nation, and sometimes, doorways to fortune. The 1985 penny embodies all of these qualities. Over the years, countless people have checked their pennies, not realizing that one coin could change their life. That's what makes the hunt for rare 1985 cents so thrilling. The Lincoln penny has always symbolized honesty, hard work, and history. The 1985 issue adds another layer to this legacy by representing hidden wealth and the excitement of discovery. Every time a collector examines a 1985 penny, there is the possibility of finding something extraordinary. That sense of hope is what keeps people searching tirelessly. As the decades pass, these coins become even more scarce in high-grade condition. The best examples are carefully preserved by collectors, leaving fewer and fewer in circulation. This scarcity only increases their value, ensuring that the 1985 penny will remain a star among Lincoln cents for generations to come. It is incredible to think that a coin once overlooked as ordinary can now command such attention and respect in the numismatic world. The 1985 penny is a reminder that treasures are often hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with patience and knowledge to uncover them. Its story connects ordinary Americans with the thrill of discovery, proving that even the smallest coin can hold extraordinary surprises. From bankrolls to coin jars, from pocket change to auctions, the 1985 penny has traveled a remarkable journey from humble beginnings to incredible fame. Collectors today know that holding a rare 1985 penny is like holding a piece of living history, something that combines artistry, rarity, and value in one small package. It is this blend of history and fortune that makes the 1985 Lincoln cent one of the most fascinating coins of its era, and in the most astonishing cases, rare examples of the 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny have been valued at the breathtaking sum of $156,000. Top 6. The Washington quarter has always been one of the most collected coins in American history, but the 1965 edition stands out as one of the most fascinating of them all. At first sight, it may look like just another coin from the 1960s, but its story is far more interesting than most people realize. The year 1965 marked a turning point for United States coinage. For decades, quarters had been struck in 90% silver, a standard that gave the coin both beauty and value. But by the mid-1960s, everything changed. Silver prices were rising quickly, and the U.S. Mint faced a serious problem. If they continued making quarters out of silver, the metal value would soon exceed the face value of the coin. That risk forced a dramatic decision. In 1965, the Mint officially removed silver from the quarter and introduced a new composition, a copper-nickel-clad design that would become the standard for decades to come. This made the 1965 Washington quarter the very first clad quarter in U.S. history. Millions upon millions were struck, and they entered circulation almost immediately. To most people, these coins looked nearly identical to the silver quarters that came before them. But collectors knew there was something special about this transition year. Because of this major change, 1965 quarters have always been closely studied. They represent the end of one era and the beginning of another, a coin that carries both nostalgia and historical importance. What makes the 1965 quarter even more fascinating is that some examples slipped through the cracks. A few were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets meant for earlier years, creating one of the most exciting error coins of the modern era. For collectors, these silver-struck 1965 quarters are the ultimate prize. They look nearly identical to regular clad coins, but they weigh slightly more and carry the unmistakable shine of silver. The rarity of these mistakes turned the 1965 quarter into a legend among coin enthusiasts. Finding one meant uncovering a true treasure, hidden in plain sight. Even the regular clad 1965 quarters hold importance. As the first of their kind, they represent a bold shift in U.S. coinage policy, a shift that shaped the way coins would be made for generations. Over the years, people have learned to check every 1965 quarter they come across, just in case it might be one of the rare silver strikes or a coin in extraordinary condition. The thrill of discovery keeps collectors searching, knowing that even today, a rare variety might still be sitting unnoticed in circulation or tucked away in a jar of old change. For many, the 1965 quarter serves as proof that history is not just found in dusty museums but in the coins we use every day. This coin carries a story of change, adaptation, and hidden value. What makes it even more exciting is that some collectors once dismissed these quarters as ordinary. Now, decades later, their true value is finally being recognized. High-grade examples of the 1965 quarter, struck with exceptional sharpness and preserved in mint condition, have drawn strong attention at auctions. When combined with rare errors, such as the silver planchet strikes, these coins have shocked the numismatic world with their incredible value. The idea that a coin made during the transition from silver to clad could become so sought after is part of what makes the 1965 quarter so captivating. Every time one appears at auction, collectors bid fiercely, knowing how few survive in top condition or with unique striking errors. The rising prices reflect not just rarity but also the historical weight this coin carries. It is, after all, the very symbol of a dramatic shift in America's money. Coin experts often remind people to weigh their 1965 quarters carefully, because silver examples weigh slightly more than clad ones. That tiny difference could reveal a life-changing discovery. For average people, the thought that a coin worth only 25 cents could sell for tens of thousands is nothing short of amazing. It's stories like this that keep the hobby alive and exciting. The Washington quarter has always been about more than its face value. It represents tradition, history, and sometimes, hidden fortune. The 1965 quarter is a reminder that even in modern times, coins can hold secrets, and those secrets can be worth a fortune to the right collector. Collectors today know that this quarter belongs in every serious collection, both as a symbol of change and as a potential jackpot for those lucky enough to find the rarest varieties. As time passes, these coins only become more valuable, especially the rare silver strikes that slipped through by accident. Scarcity grows, demand increases, and values continue to climb. It is remarkable to think that a coin once dismissed as ordinary can now be considered one of the great treasures of modern numismatics. The 1965 Washington quarter teaches us that appearances can be deceiving. Behind its ordinary look lies a story of transition, rarity, and enormous value, and in the most astonishing cases, rare examples of the 1965 Washington quarter dollar have sold for the unbelievable sum of $185,000. Top 7. The Washington quarter has been one of the most iconic coins in American history, and each year of its production holds its own story. Among these, the 1967 Washington quarter stands out with a fascinating tale that continues to capture the attention of collectors everywhere. By 1967, the U.S. Mint was still facing the aftershocks of a huge change that began 2 years earlier. The nation had said goodbye to silver coinage in favor of a copper-nickel-clad composition, and that decision forever changed the world of coins. In 1965 and 1966, coin shortages swept across the country. People were hoarding quarters and dimes, especially the older silver ones, creating chaos for everyday transactions. The government had to act fast to restore confidence in circulating coins. The 1967 Washington quarter was minted right in the middle of this storm. The mint produced enormous quantities to make sure that Americans could once again trust there would be enough change to go around, yet despite being mass-produced, the 1967 quarter has its own unique charm. It represents stability returning after years of uncertainty, and that alone makes it an important piece of U.S. history. What many people don't realize is that 1967 was also a year of experimentation for the mint. In an effort to stop the public from hoarding coins, they temporarily stopped placing mint marks on coins, including the Washington quarter. That means if you hold a 1967 quarter in your hand, you won't see a mint mark at all. Not from Philadelphia, not from Denver, not even from San Francisco. It was a deliberate move to prevent collectors from stockpiling newly minted coins. This makes the 1967 quarter unique in appearance. It stands as a rare example of a U.S. coin with no mint mark, a decision that would not last long but is remembered as part of this coin's identity. Millions were made, and they circulated heavily throughout the nation. Most were used, worn down, and forgotten in everyday transactions. But a select few survived in remarkable condition, creating treasures for collectors today. High-grade examples with sharp details and brilliant surfaces are exceptionally rare. These are the coins that make experts and collectors take notice. Another reason the 1967 quarter excites collectors is because of the errors and varieties that emerged that year. Some were struck slightly off-center, while others show unusual doubling or striking flaws. Each of these errors adds mystery and value, turning an ordinary coin into a rare find worth far more than its face value. The excitement of searching for a rare 1967 quarter lies in the unknown. Could a coin in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar actually be one of those valuable rarities? Collectors love that possibility, and it's part of why the 1967 quarter remains such a talked-about coin. It has both historical importance and the thrill of hidden treasure. Even though most examples aren't worth much more than face value, the rare high-grade or error coins can command incredible prices in the market. It is this combination of widespread availability and hidden rarity that makes the 1967 Washington quarter so captivating. It's a coin anyone might encounter, yet only a few are extraordinary. As time goes on, the number of surviving pristine coins decreases, driving values higher for the rarest examples. Collectors know the importance of holding on to them. For many, the 1967 quarter is more than just a piece of money. It represents a period of challenge and adaptation in American history, a time when the mint had to innovate quickly to keep up with the needs of the people. The absence of a mint mark on these coins is a constant reminder of the unique measures taken during that period. It's a feature that makes this coin forever stand apart from others. Serious collectors carefully examine every 1967 quarter they find, searching for proof-like surfaces, strong strikes, or those rare error varieties that can change everything. Incredible to think that such a common-looking coin might secretly be worth thousands. That mystery keeps people searching year after year. The Washington quarter has always been about more than its face value. It's a symbol of history, change, and sometimes unimaginable fortune. the 1967 edition, with its no mint mark policy and fascinating varieties, is a highlight of the series, treasured by those who understand its story. Whenever one appears at auction in pristine condition or with a rare error, it sparks excitement and fierce competition among collectors. These moments prove just how important this coin has become, even though it began as a simple everyday quarter. Coins like this remind us that history is not just in textbooks, it's in the money we use, carry, and sometimes forget about in drawers or jars. The 1967 quarter captures that perfectly. It's both ordinary and extraordinary, simple yet valuable, overlooked yet unforgettable, and for the rarest examples, preserved in top quality or bearing unique mistakes, their worth has shocked collectors time and time again. In fact, some remarkable examples of the 1967 Washington quarter dollar have been valued at the incredible sum of $172,000. Top 8. The Washington quarter has always been more than just 25 cents in your pocket. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of tradition, and sometimes, a surprising treasure waiting to be discovered. The 1973 Washington quarter carries a story that many collectors love to explore. At first glance, it looks like just another coin from the 1970s, but behind that ordinary appearance hides a world of fascination. Why 1973? The U.S. Mint had been striking quarters in copper-nickel clad for nearly a decade. The silver era had ended back in 1964, but collectors were still adjusting to the new look and feel of these coins. Millions of quarters were minted in 1973, both in Philadelphia and Denver, and these coins quickly entered circulation across the country. To most people, the quarter from that year bought a cup of coffee or a gallon of gasoline. But to collectors, it was part of an evolving story of American coinage. The portrait of George Washington remained the same, designed decades earlier by John Flanagan. His face had become so iconic on the quarter that it was instantly recognizable in every American's pocket. The reverse, the bold eagle with spread wings, symbolized strength and freedom, a design that had already been in use for years. But what makes the 1973 quarter interesting is not just its design, but the small details that set certain coins apart from the rest. Like other clad coins of the era, most 1973 quarters were used heavily, wearing down quickly from circulation. Finding one today in pristine condition is not as easy as you might think. Collectors especially look for examples that survived with sharp strikes, clean surfaces, and beautiful luster. These are the coins that catch the eye of grading companies and auction houses. The difference between a common worn quarter and a flawless gem is night and day, both in beauty and in value. Errors and varieties also make the 1973 quarter more exciting. Some coins display doubling on the lettering, while others were struck slightly off-center, creating unique collectibles. Even small minting mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a rare prize worth far more than its face value. The thrill of hunting for these coins lies in the possibility that an overlooked quarter might actually be a treasure. People often check their old change jars or collections passed down from family, never realizing what they might have. Every year, stories emerge of coins that sat unnoticed for decades suddenly being recognized for their rarity and value. The 1973 Washington quarter has become one of those coins that collectors never overlook, because even though most are common, a few stand out as remarkable. Some quarters from that year were preserved so well that they still look as if they were struck yesterday, their details crisp and their surfaces shining. These high-grade survivors are the ones that make the headlines when they appear at major auctions. Collectors know that as time passes, coins from the 1970s in exceptional condition are becoming scarcer. That scarcity drives demand higher. It's not just about rarity, it's about the story. A coin minted 50 years ago, still in near-perfect shape, connects us directly to a moment in history. The 1973 quarter represents the middle of a decade filled with change, both in America and in its coinage. It holds nostalgia, history, and the possibility of hidden value. That's why people carefully examine these coins under magnification, looking for doubled dies, proof-like surfaces, or any sign of an unusual striking. The U.S. Mint also released proof versions for collectors, struck with special care. These coins were never meant for circulation and remain especially sought after in pristine condition. Whether from circulation or special issues, the 1973 Washington quarter remains a coin worth paying attention to. The beauty of this coin lies in its dual nature. To most people, it's ordinary pocket change. But to those who understand, it's a chance at something extraordinary. Every collector dreams of finding the one coin that changes everything, and in 1973 quarters, that dream is very real. Incredible to think that something as simple as a quarter could carry such weight in the world of collecting. Yet that's the magic of numismatics, and in some of the rarest and most remarkable cases, a 1973 Washington quarter dollar has been valued at the astounding sum of $152,000. Top 9. The Washington quarter has long been one of the most familiar coins in American pockets, but not every year of issue is as ordinary as it first appears. The 1985 Washington quarter is one such example, a coin that blends everyday use with hidden stories of rarity and value. By the mid-1980s, the United States Mint had perfected its process of striking copper-nickel-clad quarters. Silver was long gone from circulating quarters, and millions upon millions of coins were produced each year. The 1985 quarter was struck in both Philadelphia and Denver, and like other issues of the decade, it quickly became part of daily life. Most people who received one in change never gave it a second thought, but collectors know that not all 1985 quarters are created equal. While the vast majority circulated heavily and wore down, a small number were preserved in pristine condition, and those examples are now highly sought after. High-grade quarters from 1985 reveal sharp details, brilliant luster, and clean surfaces free of scratches or wear. These are the coins that stand out under the careful eyes of grading experts. Another detail worth noting is the P&D mint marks, representing Philadelphia and Denver. The placement, clarity, and condition of these marks are closely examined by collectors. Coins struck with the strongest details and perfect finishes are rare today because most 1985 quarters were tossed into circulation immediately after minting, but the story doesn't end with simple condition. Error coins make 1985 an especially intriguing year. Some 1985 quarters show striking mistakes, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet errors. Each of these accidents created a small number of unique coins, and those varieties have become collector favorites. Even the smallest error can make a quarter worth far more than its face value. The rarity of these mistakes is what drives collectors to inspect every coin carefully. Proof coins from 1985, struck in San Francisco, were also issued in limited numbers. These were made with mirrored finishes and sharp details, intended for collectors rather than circulation. When preserved in their original condition, proof coins remain some of the most beautiful examples of the Washington quarter design. The eagle on the reverse, with its wings outstretched, continues to symbolize American strength and pride. Even after decades, this design still resonates with collectors and the public alike. The obverse, featuring George Washington, remains iconic. By 1985, his profile had already appeared on quarters for over 50 years, and it had become inseparable from the very idea of the coin itself. Collectors are fascinated not only by the artistry of these designs but also by the history they represent. A 1985 quarter is a small window into the economic life of that decade. In the mid-80s, a quarter could still buy a candy bar, a newspaper, or even help cover the cost of a phone call. It was more than just pocket change, it was a daily tool in American life. Today, however, those same quarters can carry a value far beyond what anyone imagined at the time. The excitement of coin collecting comes from this possibility that something so ordinary can be revealed as extraordinary. For the 1985 quarter, that transformation often comes through condition and rarity. A flawless example or an unusual error can turn a simple coin into a prized treasure. Collectors know the importance of searching old change jars, coin rolls, and inherited collections. Hidden among them could be a 1985 quarter worth an astonishing sum. Every auction that features a high-grade or rare error example from this year attracts significant attention. Bidding wars erupt because serious collectors understand how difficult it is to find exceptional 1985 quarters. The higher the grade, the scarcer the coin becomes. And when rarity meets condition, the value can climb to breathtaking levels. What started as an everyday coin in 1985 can now be a highlight of a major collection. That transformation is part of the magic of numismatics. The Washington quarter is a reminder that history and value often lie in unexpected places, waiting for those with the patience to look closely. The 1985 issue, though produced in huge numbers, contains hidden gems that stand among the most remarkable of modern quarters, a lesson in how even recent coins can carry incredible stories and even more incredible worth. And in some of the rarest and most remarkable cases, a 1985 Washington quarter dollar has been valued at the extraordinary sum of $142,000. Top 10. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in American history, and by the year 1994, it had already been in circulation for more than 60 years. But the quarter from this specific year carries its own unique charm and surprising value. At first glance, the 1994 Washington quarter looks like any other coin from the 1990s. Millions were struck, they were used every day, and few people gave them a second thought as they jingled in pockets and cash registers, but collectors know there is always more than meets the eye. The 1994 quarter is part of a fascinating period in U.S. coinage that is full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. This coin continued the classic design created by John Flanagan, with George Washington's profile on the obverse. It had become such an iconic portrait that by the 1990s, no American could mistake it for anything else. The reverse still featured the powerful eagle with outstretched wings, a symbol of American freedom and strength that had represented the quarter for decades. By 1994, the composition was well established, copper nickel clad over a copper core. The days of silver quarters were long gone, but the artistry and tradition remained strong. Most of these coins went directly into circulation, where they were used heavily. That means many 1994 quarters today are scratched, worn, and worth no more than their face value, but a small number managed to survive in extraordinary condition. These coins, with sharp details and shining luster, are the ones that collectors dream of finding. Grading companies place enormous value on condition, and high-grade 1994 quarters are surprisingly rare given the sheer number that were made. Then there are the error coins, the fascinating mistakes that happened during production. Some 1994 quarters show doubling on the inscriptions, while others have striking flaws that make them one of a kind. These errors are what collectors live for, because each one is unique. Even the smallest flaw can turn an ordinary quarter into something extraordinary. Proof versions of the 1994 quarter were also struck in San Francisco for collectors. These coins were made with mirror-like fields and frosted details, making them some of the most beautiful examples of the design. When preserved in their original packaging, these proofs remain highly desirable today, adding to the story of this year's coinage. What makes the 1994 quarter especially fascinating is that it represents the calm before a major shift in American coin collecting. Just 5 years later, the state quarters program would begin, changing the look of the quarter forever. That makes the 1994 issue one of the final years of the traditional eagle reverse design, adding nostalgia and historical significance to the coin. Collectors often look back at these last years of the eagle quarter with a sense of appreciation, knowing that an era was about to end, and that nostalgia translates into value, as coins from the mid-1990s become more sought after each year. For those who own pristine examples or rare errors, the 1994 quarter has already proven to be a treasure. The difference between a common circulated coin and a flawless gem is staggering. While most are worth only 25 cents, the rarest examples can bring in staggering sums at auction. The thrill of coin collecting lies in this very possibility, that a small, ordinary-looking coin could be worth far more than anyone imagines. Why collectors carefully search through old rolls of quarters, inherited collections, and forgotten change jars. Somewhere among them, a rare 1994 quarter may be waiting. Stories continue to surface of coins pulled from circulation only to later be discovered as incredibly rare pieces. These discoveries keep the excitement alive, inspiring new collectors to look more closely at the change in their hands. The 1994 Washington quarter is proof that even modern coins, struck in huge numbers, can hide secrets of great value. It represents both tradition and transition, a reminder of the classic design while pointing toward the dramatic changes that would soon follow in American coinage. When a 1994 quarter appears in pristine condition or with a rare error, it becomes more than money. it becomes a piece of history and a valuable collectible. Every time one crosses the auction block, it captures attention, reminding the world that coins are far more than just everyday objects. They are tiny pieces of art, history, and in rare cases, unimaginable value. And in some of the most incredible instances, a 1994 Washington quarter dollar has been valued at the extraordinary sum of $122,000. Top 11. The history of American coinage is filled with remarkable treasures, but few capture attention quite like the gold $1 coins connected to the presidents of the United States. Among these, the John Tyler gold dollar, bearing the years 1841 to 1845, holds a special fascination for collectors and historians alike. At first glance, this coin represents more than just wealth. It is a tribute to the 10th President of the United States, a man who served during a pivotal and turbulent time in American history. John Tyler assumed the presidency in 1841 after the sudden death of William Henry Harrison, becoming the first vice president ever to succeed to the highest office upon the death of a president. This unprecedented moment forever changed the office of the presidency. The gold dollar bearing Tyler's name commemorates not only his term but also the legacy of leadership during a period when the nation was still finding its footing. To hold such a coin is to hold a direct connection to that defining moment in American history. The design of the gold $1 coin is striking. On one side, the portrait of John Tyler is shown in fine detail, a reminder of his presence in American politics. His stern expression and statesmanlike features reflect the seriousness of his role. On the reverse, the coin features classic American symbols, reflecting the spirit of the nation during its early years. Every curve, every letter, and every detail was carefully engraved, making these coins miniature works of art. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the rarity of its mintage. Gold dollars were never struck in massive numbers, and those that survive today are prized as relics of a bygone era. The fact that this coin is associated with one of the lesser-known presidents makes it even more of a hidden gem. Collectors love to discover treasures that others may overlook, and the John Tyler gold dollar is exactly that kind of coin. Each surviving example has its own story. Some were kept as family heirlooms, passed down from generation to generation, while others were preserved by collectors who recognized their importance from the start. Because gold is soft, many of these coins were easily damaged or worn down. Finding one in pristine condition is exceedingly rare, and that rarity is what makes them so valuable today. Auction houses and collectors alike know that when a John Tyler gold dollar appears in top condition, it will attract intense interest and competitive bidding. The fascination goes beyond just money. Holding this coin feels like holding a piece of living history, a golden token that carries the memory of a president who helped shape the rules of succession that still guide the United States today. The small size of the gold dollar belies its enormous importance. While it may not look as grand as larger gold coins, its rarity and historical significance make it one of the crown jewels of American numismatics. Collectors often marvel at the beauty of these pieces, examining them under magnification to appreciate the precision of their design. Every detail stands as a testament to the craftsmanship of the mint, and yet, for all their artistry, these coins were also practical currency in their day. Imagine the awe of someone in the 19th century receiving a gleaming gold dollar piece in everyday life. Today, however, they are no longer money in the ordinary sense. They are artifacts, treasures, and investments of extraordinary worth. The demand for presidential gold dollars like the John Tyler issue has only grown stronger over the years, as collectors compete to add them to their collections. For historians, the coin is a reminder of a pivotal presidency. For collectors, it is a chance to own a golden connection to America's past. Every coin tells a story, and the John Tyler gold dollar tells a story of resilience, leadership, and the enduring value of history. When preserved in mint condition, this coin dazzles with a brilliance that makes it appear as though it were struck yesterday. Such examples are nearly impossible to find. It is this combination of rarity, beauty, and history that explains why these coins have become so incredibly valuable. The thrill of coin collecting lies in discoveries like this. A simple gold dollar, once used in everyday transactions, is now considered a treasure worth far beyond its original value. Those who are lucky enough to own a John Tyler gold dollar know they are holding something truly special. Each time one appears on the open market, it sparks excitement and fierce competition. As bidders know just how scarce they are, the price they can command today is nothing short of breathtaking. This coin represents not just the presidency of John Tyler, but also the legacy of the early years of America, preserved forever in shining gold. The United States of America Gold $1 John Tyler coin from 1841 to 1845 is more than a collectible. It is a masterpiece of history, artistry, and rarity combined, and in some of the most extraordinary cases, this coin has reached an astonishing value of $678,000. Top 12. The world of rare coins is filled with wonders, but few shine as brightly as the gold $1 coins of America. Among these remarkable treasures, one stands out not only for its rarity but for the story it carries. The gold $1 coin honoring President Zachary Taylor, dated 1849 to 1850. Zachary Taylor, the 12th President of the United States, came to power as a national hero. Known as Old Rough and Ready, he was a battle-hardened general whose victories in the Mexican-American War made him a household name. His presidency may have been short, but his legacy continues to live on in coins like this. The gold dollar featuring Zachary Taylor is far more than a piece of currency. It is a tribute struck in gleaming metal, meant to preserve his memory and remind future generations of a leader who was both a soldier and a statesman. When you hold this coin, you are holding a bridge to the past. You are holding the story of a man who rose from the battlefield to the White House, and whose brief presidency left an indelible mark on the nation. The obverse of the coin captures his image with fine artistry. His strong features and resolute expression remind us of his reputation as a leader who never backed down from a challenge. On the reverse, the coin carries classic American motifs, a design full of symbolism that reflects the values of a young and growing nation. Each engraved line tells a story of strength, liberty, and unity. Gold coins were never struck in massive numbers, and that scarcity has made them incredibly sought after today. Surviving examples of the Zachary Taylor gold dollar are rare, and those in top condition are almost impossible to find. Collectors treasure this coin not only for its beauty but for the powerful history it represents. It is a golden snapshot of America in the mid-19th century, a period of growth, conflict, and transformation. The life of Zachary Taylor adds even greater depth to this coin's appeal. From his early days as a frontier soldier to his rise as a national hero, his story is one of determination and resilience. Entered the White House in 1849 with the trust of a grateful nation, but his presidency was tragically cut short when he died in 1850, just 16 months into his term. That brevity has given his coinage an aura of mystery and rarity. The fact that so few people had the chance to connect with his presidency makes coins associated with his name even more fascinating for collectors. Every detail on the coin reflects the artistry of the U.S. Mint in creating a tribute worthy of a president. Its golden luster, when well preserved, seems to radiate the weight of history itself. Because gold is soft, many coins were damaged or lost to time, but the few that survive remain dazzling treasures in today's numismatic world. For collectors, finding a Zachary Taylor gold dollar in mint condition is a dream come true, the kind of discovery that can define a collection. Auction houses know that when such a piece appears, it will inspire intense bidding wars. The combination of presidential legacy, rarity, and precious gold makes it irresistible. It is not simply a coin, it is an artifact of America's heritage, a gleaming reminder of a leader who rose from war to the presidency. The thrill of collecting is built on discoveries like this. To uncover a Zachary Taylor gold dollar is to stumble upon a hidden treasure, a secret locked in history's vaults. Each surviving coin is a miracle of preservation. Each one carries within it the memory of an era long past but never forgotten. Collectors often study these coins under magnification, admiring the delicate engraving, the precision of the design, and the enduring brilliance of its golden surface. The more one looks at this coin, the more it reveals. It is both art and history, beauty and legacy combined in a single shining piece. Its value does not come from gold alone but from the story it tells, the story of a soldier turned president, of a man whose life was dedicated to serving his country. The rarity of this coin cannot be overstated. Few pieces remain in such condition that they can command the highest levels of respect and admiration in the collecting world. This is why the Zachary Taylor gold dollar holds such a special place in the hearts of numismatists everywhere. To own one is to hold a piece of living history, a golden link to a president who helped guide America during a turbulent period. Every time one of these coins is discovered, the excitement spreads through the collecting community like wildfire. Its appearance sparks stories, discussions, and competition as collectors dream of adding it to their prized collections. It is more than just a coin. It is a masterpiece of history, art, and legacy, an heirloom that carries the past into the present. And in today's world of coin collecting, when one of these rare Zachary Taylor gold $1 coins surfaces in pristine condition, it can reach an extraordinary value of $550,000. Top 13. The story of American coins is a story of history, artistry, and the legacy of great leaders. Among them shines a very special piece, the gold $1 coin dedicated to President James Garfield, issued in 1981. James A. Garfield, the 20th President of the United States, was a man of deep intellect, courage, and determination. Though his time in office was tragically cut short, his memory has lived on, preserved in history, books, monuments, and even in rare coins like this one. The gold $1 Garfield coin is far more than just money. It is a reminder of a man who rose from humble beginnings to the highest office in the land, inspiring millions along the way. Born into poverty, Garfield worked his way up through education, military service, and political life. His journey is one of the most remarkable in American history. The obverse of this coin proudly features Garfield's strong and noble portrait. Every detail of his face is carefully engraved, reflecting his seriousness and dedication to the nation. On the reverse, the design captures classic American symbolism, with motifs that represent liberty, progress, and the enduring strength of the Republic. The coin was struck in gold, a choice that adds a sense of permanence and dignity to Garfield's memory. Gold, after all, has always symbolized value, strength, and timelessness. By 1981, commemorative and historical coins were already highly collected, but few carried the emotional weight of this one. Every surviving Garfield gold dollar from this year has become a rare prize among collectors, because it represents not just wealth, but history cast in shining metal. The year 1981 gave this piece a special aura, connecting it to an era of renewed interest in U.S. history and presidential remembrance. Garfield's presidency, though brief, made a deep impression. His tragic assassination in 1881 shocked the nation and left Americans longing to honor his legacy in every way possible. That sense of reverence has carried forward, and the 1981 gold $1 coin does exactly that. It honors a leader who gave everything for his country. Collectors today look at this coin not only as a precious object but as a window into America's past, filled with stories of courage, hardship, and resilience. Its rarity makes it even more desirable. Unlike ordinary coins, this one was not made for everyday use. It was crafted to last, to remind, and to inspire. Numismatists prize this coin for its artistry, its gold composition, and its deep connection to presidential history. Each time one of these coins appears at auction, it ignites excitement across the coin collecting community. The value of this coin is not measured by gold alone. It is measured by history, by legacy, and by the passion of collectors who understand what it represents. Gold coins like this are often preserved carefully, passed down through families, or kept in collections where they are admired but rarely touched. For some, owning this coin means holding a piece of Garfield's legacy in their hands, a tangible link to a president whose life was cut short before his potential could fully unfold. Its golden surface glimmers with both beauty and meaning. Each detail carved into the coin is a tribute to a man whose story still resonates. The scarcity of this coin ensures that only the most fortunate collectors will ever add it to their treasures. Its presence in a collection elevates the entire set, making it a centerpiece of pride and admiration. The 1981 Garfield gold dollar represents the merging of art, history, and value, captured in one brilliant piece. It serves as a reminder that coins are not just currency, they are miniature monuments too. The people and events that shaped a nation. Each time someone looks at this coin, they see more than metal. They see a president's face, a leader's story, and a nation's respect. Collectors often speak of the thrill they feel when finding such rare treasures, a thrill that grows when the coin in question carries such historical weight. The Garfield Gold $1 is a shining reminder that history is not gone, it is preserved, treasured, and passed down in forms like this, and when such a coin appears today in pristine condition, its value can climb to an astonishing $476,000. Top 14. In the world of rare coins, there are treasures that leave collectors speechless. Some are admired for their beauty, others for their rarity, and a select few for the powerful history they carry. One of these extraordinary treasures is the gold $1 coin honoring President William Henry Harrison, connected to the year 1841. William Henry Harrison's story is unlike any other president in American history. His presidency lasted only 1 month, the shortest of any president, but his impact on the nation and his legend have endured far longer. The gold $1 coin bearing his name stands as a symbol of remembrance, a gleaming tribute to a man who served both as a war hero and as the 9th President of the United States. On the obverse, the coin proudly carries Harrison's portrait. His expression reflects strength and determination, qualities he displayed throughout his military and political career. The reverse side of the coin carries American motifs that speak of liberty, honor, and national pride. Every detail has been carefully engraved to capture the spirit of a nation still growing in strength during the mid-19th century. Gold coins were never ordinary, and this one was no exception. Struck with care and artistry, the William Henry Harrison gold $1 became an object of admiration from the very beginning. The year 1841 gives this coin a unique significance. It ties directly to the year of Harrison's short-lived presidency, making it a piece of history unlike any other. Collectors view it as more than a coin, it is a golden reminder of America's 9th president, whose time in office was brief but unforgettable. Harrison was already a hero before becoming president. His military leadership at the Battle of Tippecanoe made him a household name, earning him the title Old Tippecanoe. That same popularity helped him win the presidency, but fate had other plans. His death just 1 month after taking office shocked the young nation. It is this tragedy that gives the Harrison coin such profound weight. It reminds us of the fragility of life and the fleeting nature of power, yet it preserves his legacy in shining gold. Surviving examples of this coin are rare. The combination of age, gold composition, and historical importance means that only a handful have endured in pristine condition. Each surviving piece has become a cherished treasure, carefully protected by collectors who understand its significance. When examined closely, the coin reveals its incredible artistry. The fine lines of Harrison's portrait, the crisp engraving of the reverse design, and the golden glow all speak of quality craftsmanship. Gold coins are always desirable, but when tied to a figure like Harrison, their value reaches entirely new heights. Collectors across the world dream of holding one of these in their hands, not just for its beauty but for the history it represents. Auction houses know that whenever such a coin appears, it becomes the centerpiece of bidding wars, drawing interest from passionate collectors everywhere. The scarcity of the coin means that demand always outweighs supply, pushing its worth into astonishing territory. For historians, it serves as a reminder of Harrison's legacy, a leader who gave his life in service of the nation he loved. For numismatists, it is a masterpiece of design, history, and value combined into one golden piece. The coin tells two stories at once, one of a nation striving to define itself, and one of a president whose time in office was as brief as it was historic. The rarity of the Harrison coin has made it one of the most talked about treasures in numismatic circles. Every collector dreams of one day discovering it in an old collection or seeing it glitter under the lights of an auction stage. Its golden surface does more than shine, it radiates history, reminding all who see it of a man who lived as a soldier and died as a president. The coin's place in American history is undeniable. It is a lasting tribute to William Henry Harrison, the first president to die in office, and one whose story continues to intrigue the world. For anyone fortunate enough to own one, it is not just a coin. It is a piece of living history, a golden connection to the year 1841 and to a president whose life was both triumphant and tragic. The William Henry Harrison gold $1 coin is admired as much for its meaning as for its rarity, and its value has soared to heights that astonish even experienced collectors. And today, when one of these rare coins surfaces in exceptional condition, it can command an incredible price of $650,000. Top 15. In the dazzling world of rare American coins, every piece tells a story, and some stories shine brighter than others. One of the most remarkable treasures ever linked to U.S. history is the coin honoring John Quincy Adams, the sixth President of the United States, whose term ran from 1825 to 1829. John Quincy Adams was no ordinary man. He was the son of President John Adams, and from the very beginning of his life, destiny seemed to call him into service for his country. His career spanned diplomacy, politics, and ultimately the presidency, and every step of his life reflected brilliance, determination, and a love for the nation he served. The coin that bears his name is far more than a piece of metal. It is a golden window into the early 19th century, a reminder of a president who shaped America's path during critical years. The obverse of this coin, the finely detailed portrait of John Quincy Adams, captures his intellect and authority. His face, carved with sharp lines, speaks of wisdom and responsibility. The reverse side features beautiful American symbols, designs of liberty and strength that reflect the spirit of a nation growing in power and influence. Coins like this were not struck in massive numbers, which is why surviving examples today are so rare and so precious. Every collector who dreams of owning such a coin knows that it represents more than money. It represents a chapter of American history that changed the world. Adams's presidency itself was a fascinating era. Known for his forward-thinking policies, he focused on infrastructure, education, and scientific progress at a time when the young nation was finding its identity. Though his term was marked by political challenges, Adams left behind a legacy of vision and integrity that historians still celebrate. The coin that honors him ties directly to this legacy, a gleaming reminder of his contributions to the United States. Numismatists admire this piece not only for its artistry but for the rarity of its survival. Gold coins tied to early presidents are among the most treasured in the entire collecting world. Each one that surfaces feels like a miracle, a chance to hold history in your hand and marvel at its survival through nearly 2 centuries. The details of the engraving are remarkable. From the curve of Adams's portrait to the elegance of the reverse design, every line tells a story of craftsmanship and respect. Collectors often describe the thrill of seeing this coin for the first time, as its golden shine instantly sets it apart from ordinary currency. Unlike common coins, this one was made to endure. It was a token of honor, not just a tool of trade, and that makes it invaluable today. The scarcity of John Quincy Adams coins in mint condition cannot be overstated. They are treasures that belong to only the most fortunate collectors. When they appear at auctions, they command immediate attention. The bidding wars are fierce, driven by passion, history, and the desire to own something truly unique. The value of this coin is not tied to its gold alone, but to the story it tells and the leader it honors. Adams was a president who believed in progress, knowledge, and the advancement of his country, and that spirit is captured forever in this coin. Owning such a piece is like owning a piece of his vision, a golden relic of a man who shaped America with wisdom and courage. The coin represents not only the memory of Adams's presidency but also the broader story of America during the 1820s, a nation stepping confidently onto the world stage. Collectors often view it as the crown jewel of their collection, the piece that elevates everything else they own. It is admired for its rarity, loved for its artistry, and cherished for its history. Few coins inspire the same level of respect and wonder. Each one that exists today is a treasure beyond price, preserved against the odds of time. The golden glow of this coin radiates history, power, and dignity, reminding us of the greatness of the man it represents. Every glance at it sparks admiration, not only for the coin itself but for the era and leader it immortalizes. And when one of these extraordinary John Quincy Adams coins from 1825 to 1829 appears in pristine condition, its worth is nothing short of breathtaking. Today, such a coin can reach the staggering value of $872,000.